Welcome to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, the daily talk show with the voice of Penn State football and men's basketball. You never know what special guest may stop on by any given day. Now here's the man of the hour, Mr. Steve Jones.
Right, so here we go. It is the first of 3 Big Ten media days. Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, will address the media at 2 o'clock Eastern time at Mandalay Bay today. It'll be the first time he's been in this setting discussing the college football playoff plans, which he'll be asked about. So the issue will be not the issue, but
the main topic.
The interesting point will be, to me, how steadfast he feels about his 4 automatic qualifier plan. How steadfast does he feel about a championship weekend where 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5 for the last 2 automatic qualifying spots? Look, Tony's a TV guy. He understands TV. And the 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, where there are stakes involved. I mean, what were the stakes last year when Penn State played Oregon? The stakes were one was going to get a bye, and the other one was going to get a home game in the first round. Okay, and it worked out actually better for Penn State. They got a home game, 106 to 107,000 people in a wild, raucous atmosphere at Beaver Stadium. They ran SMU out. Then they kept the momentum going and then won the Fiesta Bowl over Boise State. Meanwhile, Oregon ended up playing Ohio State and got run out of the Rose Bowl. So but he is somebody who understands in no uncertain terms that people want to watch games with stakes. The championship games with the 12-team playoff have lost the stakes part of it. Texas played Georgia. They both made it. Right? Now, in the Big 12 last year, Arizona State beat Iowa State. So one was in, one was out. So that had stakes to it. Clemson played SMU. They both made it because Clemson won. If Clemson had lost, they were not going to make it. But Clemson won. They won their way in. So you had a little bit of that. Boise State was able to win over UNLV.
They almost took down Oregon early in the season.
But they had to play UNLV in the championship game. If Boise State loses the championship game, they are not in the college football playoff. Nope. All right? So that's my point, is about championship weekend. When it comes to the SEC and the Big Ten, where you have multiple bid players, the argument is going to be from teams 3 and 4, like, oh, what the heck? If 3 and 4, we got to play this game? Really?
It's one extra game for them to play.
Now, you know that going in. You know that going in. But, for example, say Texas and Georgia. Andy Staples and Ari Wasserman put out a poll. And so they have in that poll Texas 1, Oregon 2. A little baffled about the Oregon thing because I'm not sure how. I think Malachi Moore, the quarterback, is good.
But we don't know.
But he's not Dylan Gabriel. Also losing Stewart for the season at wide receiver did not help.
You're already out a bunch of different skilled players.
Right. Yeah. So that part. And they had to replace a couple tackles in the offensive line. But he's got Oregon 2, Ohio State 3, Penn State 4, Notre Dame, Georgia, South Carolina. So let's carry this out for a second. In carrying this out, say it ends up exactly what he's saying. Well, in a 3 versus 4 scenario, Penn State's playing that weekend, even though they're the 4th-ranked team in the country.
Yeah.
Okay? South Carolina is 7. Well, guess what? South Carolina's playing that weekend. Why? Because they're the 3rd team. Texas and Georgia are ahead of them. This is just based on a poll. This is not obviously the standings. Right? Auburn. I don't understand the Auburn love. I'm a little confused.
No one understands it.
Right? Florida 9. So, in other words, Florida would play Auburn because that would be 4 versus 5. and the game would be in Gainesville. Now, it would make great TV, great theater, but if you're sitting there and you are Penn State, you are South Carolina, and you are Florida, and you're 3 of the top 9 teams in the country.
Why are we playing this game?
Why am I playing this game?
Yeah. What point is there?
Right? Why am I playing this game? Especially if you're in a situation where you're in a 1 through 16, and there's certain people you don't play. Now, Penn State plays both Ohio State and Oregon this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the schedules of these guys in the SEC happen to be. I'd have to look it up to see, who's playing who and who's not playing somebody.
Would you like to find out, Steve Jones? That is the real question here.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, let's get to the SEC. It's taking a little bit.
And remember,
so give me what teams do you want to hear? You want to hear Florida?
Florida, Auburn, and South Carolina.
Okay. Alphabetically, Auburn will play in the SEC Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Georgia, Missouri, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Alabama.
Okay. So they don't play Florida.
They do not.
But they do play Georgia.
They play Georgia and they play Alabama.
So they
A&M.
don't play Texas.
Nope.
But they play Georgia.
Yes.
And they don't play South Carolina. And they don't play South Carolina.
We then move to Florida. Florida has LSU. They have Texas. They have Georgia. They have Tennessee.
Well, I got Texas and Georgia. I'm just going by the top 10 that Andy and Ari put out. Okay.
And then what team was next? You wanted to hear? We did Auburn.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
They do have to play Clemson, by the way.
They will. South Carolina will take on LSU, Alabama, and A&M in terms of the top teams that I see, and Ole Miss.
The reason they don't play anybody.
Nope. They don't play each other. None of the 3 play each other. None of South Carolina, Auburn, or Florida play each other at all. They all play Texas and Georgia and LSU and Bama. They do not play each other at all.
All right. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, Oregon gets a lot of love. Joel Klatt has Oregon 5. He's got Penn State 1.
Mm-hmm.
He's got Texas 2, Ohio State 3, Georgia 4, Oregon 5.
Oregon's got, of course, Penn State. The other big games they have, I guess you'd give them Washington, Iowa, Wisconsin, USC, Rutgers, Indiana, Oklahoma State.
In other words, they've got a road.
Yeah,
this game on September 27th at night
that matters to them.
That is a gigantic deal.
Yeah. That matters to them. Penn State has 2 cracks at the top. They have Oregon, and then they, of course, have Ohio State later in the season. So they at least have a second game against the top team. Oregon's got 1.
Right.
And then outside of that, who's the best there? Would Iowa get 24th in a poll somewhere? And they'd try to claim that as a great win? Like, that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yikes, Steve. Yikes.
Yeah, I know.
And going away from the Big Ten side of things to a player who played in the Big Ten, of course, NFL training camps are getting underway, and we're going to the guy who, of course, played here in Happy Valley. Yesterday, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones took a shot or 7 at Micah Parsons because, of course, Micah wants a new contract. The number is now sitting at $41 million after TJ Watt reset the market. Mentioned quite a few things, including he didn't play a lot last year. He missed 6 games. He missed 4. It's a lot of saying, like, let's put it this way. We went over every possible detail you can go over and had agreement. Clearly, they don't have an agreement because nothing signed. And he is, quote-unquote, okay with dangling participles when it comes to Micah Parsons' soon to possibly maybe not be brand new contract. So, I don't know. And, of course, he is not the only one, Micah, when it comes to contracts taking place that are not.
This guy thinks George Pickens is a great player.
Yes.
Let's move on.
Like, it's.
Look, he's paid out money left and right to people. What the heck? Okay, look, here's the bottom line. Okay, what does the market tell you? The market tells you that he is worth a minimum
of $41 million.
$42 million a year.
41.1, I guess, because that's usually what happens. They bump him by a little bit every time.
But $42 million. Let's just do by $1 million extra per year. That's That's what the market says. Myles Garrett got 40. T.J. Watt got 41. He's the next guy up, 42. That's what the market tells you. Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Ask yourself how good you are when he doesn't play.
Not great, Steve. Not great. J.J. Watt then reposted the clip over on social media saying, anytime you can publicly take a dig at your star quarterback and your star pass rusher simultaneously right before the season begins, you just gotta take it. Nothing makes guys want to fight for you more than hearing how upset you are that they got hurt while fighting for you. Micah Parsons then reposted that over on Twitter, which is when people are like, okay, so now we know kind of how Micah feels.
Well, look, let's start with this. Why has the NFLPA resisted an 18-game season over and over again? Because of the injury factor. Sure, they can talk about money all they want, but it really is the injury factor. How many times late in the year, let's just take the glamour position of quarterback, where it's Monday Night Football, and you're asking yourself, okay, who are these two guys playing quarterback? Because the starters are hurt.
I don't want to discuss the Saints last year. It's atrocious.
Right. It's just, and that's just a position. Right? Micah Parsons gets belted on every play he's out there, just like T.J. Watt does, just like Myles Garrett does, just like Trey Hendrickson does. Every single play, there's heavy contact. There's certain plays, for example, where a quarterback throws the ball, doesn't get touched. Okay? But not when you're playing in the trenches. There's contact, and it's hard contact on every single play. You're going to get hurt with that many reps, that many games. And for an owner with incredibly deep pockets, he's never been shy about letting the world know that he has money.
No.
Right? I've been in that stadium. Right? He paid for that stadium. The state of Texas did not put money into that stadium. Right? He paid for it. And that's, by the way, to his credit.
Yeah.
To his absolute, ever-loving credit. Right? He has poured a lot of money into Dak Prescott. What has he been able to get out of Dak Prescott? Okay? He's poured a lot of money into C.D. Lamb. What has he gotten out of C.D. Lamb? Okay, he's poured a lot of money in different areas. Now, out of nowhere, he's got a backbone and is going to not pay unquestionably his best defensive player. Look, you go out there and okay, number one, you don't negotiate in the media. You give, hey, great player. We're in the middle of the talks. Right? We'll do everything we can to make the talks progress. Pretty simple answer. Okay? That's all you have to do. Did I insult anybody? Did I over hype how we feel about it? Whatever. Okay? Yeah. If it's brought up and I said, well, obviously there's a market out there. We're going to see how everything fits in the market as what our thought process is and what their thought process is, and then we'll work and see if we can come to an agreement.
By the way, when it comes to Micah, he has reported for camp. We are unsure at the moment if he will participate in practice or not. It does start today, so we should find out shortly if he is going to take part in practice at all.
And that's the new term. The new term is hold in.
Yes.
You're in, but you're not doing anything. Remember T.J. Watt did that, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 years ago, he did that with the Steelers. So
he
not,
held in.
It's not an uncommon occurrence now.
The other side of things, Trey Hendrickson is holding out right now with the Bengals. He will not report with the rest of the team veterans Tuesday. He told this to Adam Schefter. And he's in
report, an interesting spot because Stewart's not there.
Shamar Stewart is also not there.
He's the only first-round pick that is not signed.
And up until this week, I think a majority of the second-rounders had not been signed either because they were waiting for guaranteed contracts. A lot have been signing their deals in recent days. But to go along with this, Hendrickson has given comment, I believe, to different outlets, basically stating the Bengals are nowhere even close to a respectable number, which if you're sitting here, he's the number that these guys are getting, $40 million. I would project he doesn't get 42. I would think he gets somewhere in the 30s.
He'd get in the 30s.
But my assumption is that they're probably sitting at like 20 or something like that. If I'm just guessing based off this, they're not probably close enough to even a ballpark for him.
On the offensive side of the ball, Cincinnati has spent money.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow, they have to have him. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Let's face it. I mean, this is what
they've spent.
This is what's going to make the Bengals have a shot in every game.
They're gonna be the Saints from 2012, where it's put 50 points up and let up 49.
It's gonna be a lot of 37, 34 games. You've got one player that stands out above them all on the defensive side of the ball. Now, here's the question you always have to ask. For the most part, Bill Belichick was good at this. For the most part. What is your perceived shelf life? The quote from Bill Walsh, and this came from Randy Cross. Randy Cross, outstanding guard, 49ers, terrific player. Cross, they've won a couple Super Bowls. Cross is feeling good about himself. He'd like to get a 5-year deal. And Walsh looks at him and says, and this has been the Belichick philosophy as well, I think you have 2 more great years. He says, I only want the 2 great years. He says, I don't want to give you 5 years. Because the last 3 years, you're not going to be great. He said, I only want the 2 great years. Well, Belichick had the ability, and again, not perfect. Were there other guys that moved on someplace? Although several of them ended up trading to Cleveland. That seemed to be the outpost. Hey, we're going to send you to Nome. Oh, great, good. Nome, that's fabulous. Don't they have the Iditarod? Fabulous. All right. But he would look at you and he'd say, I'm going to sign you a short-term contract because that's what we see. Or he would look at you and say, I think you got 1 more great year left, and we can get by with it with that year, and we're not going to do it. And that's how when you treat it as an absolute business, that's how you do it. Now, I don't know why the Bengals, they've spent a lot of money on offense, so let's not say that they're cheap. They've spent a lot of money on offense.
They're spending $55 million a year on Joe Burrow, $40 million on Jamar Chase, $28 on T. Higgins. They're spending $16 on Orlando Brown at left tackle. Mike Gesicki's $8.5 million. Like those are some of the top contracts they have.
Right, that's what they have at this point. Yet they've had a reputation over the years of being rather tight. Okay, and by NFL standards. By NFL standards. They get the same amount of money everybody else does. Sure, there's some differences as to what their luxury suites may go for as opposed to what the luxury suites in Los Angeles go for. But everybody gets the same TV money. Well, it doesn't take a genius. I mean, it takes you like 18 seconds to read, where the salary cap and the TV number are the same. So everybody gets the same. The cap is the same as the TV number. So I don't understand why they're not. And with Stewart, for example, Stewart, the NFL has gone really to, I mean, it was informal for many years, but now under the last 2 CBAs, it really has been almost a formal slotting.
This is your number.
Right? What is he, the 17th pick?
He was the 17th overall pick in this draft.
Yeah, so the 17th overall pick in the draft. Well, guess what? You get a little less money than the 16th pick, and you get a little more money than the 18th pick. It's not that difficult.
And apparently the sticking point in negotiations, per Bengals team president Mike Brown, and has been reported also about Shamar Stewart, it is a dispute over the language in Stewart's contract pertaining to potential conduct detrimental to the team. In that scenario, it could void guaranteed money owed to Stewart. It's a clause the Bengals added recently to mirror other teams around the league. This would be their first year having it. Stewart and his agents have basically been like, we're not the ones you're testing this on. Because he's sitting here, Stewart is, as the person they brought in the Bengals to deal with Trey Hendrickson and get leverage back. All of a sudden, they get Stewart, well, we don't need you, Trey. We're not going to pay you as much. And the Bengals can try and sign him for less or trade him. But now they have neither.
I believe Stewart did have some off-the-field problems at Texas A&M.
He did.
And so them bringing that up, look, I don't, just slot him and go from there. It's really a simple solution to it. And you have to have a finding system that if he does something like that, they already have in the CBA how to handle situations like that, as to what the maximum fines can be, as to what the maximum suspensions can be, and so forth. That is dealt with in the CBA. That's why when you hear, why did he only get that as a fine? Because it's probably whatever league it happens to be, the maximum they could fine him under the CBA.
May I make a point as well? If you are sitting there at 17 and you know you're going to put this in the contract, but there's even a chance that you're putting this in the contract to a guy who may already have issues, why would you at that point select him? Like, you're sitting there and you're going to put this in, and there's a chance that they don't accept it. And you know that going in, you're like, we're still going to take him. And now you're sitting here with no edge rusher because he's not here and Trey Hendrickson's not here in a situation you caused yourself. They could have said, you know what, we're not going to select him. They could have traded back. Wow. And I know James Pierce Jr. also had issues. They could have said, well, we're just going to trade on back out of the first round, get a bunch of stuff, go and get someone in the second round. Because, I don't know, that makes more sense to me. And going back to get, you've got Donovan Azaruaka from Boston College and Ohio State's JT Tuimoloau, who both went in the second round at the start of it. Go and get those two guys instead with the assets you gain from trading back.
Sakes.
Like, you caused this on yourself.
Okay, JTT. And even Jack Sawyer. With all due respect, I'd have picked either one of them before I picked Stewart. You know how I feel about Stewart. I'm not a big. I'm not big. That was one of those first round picks where I looked around and went, what are you looking at?
But that's the problem, is they sat there. They could have done that. But they went into this, knew there could be an issue, have the issue now, and they're saying, well, it's on Stewart for not doing it and not signing this contract. It's on you, because you selected him knowing this was a possible outcome. And he has the leverage because Trey Hendrickson hasn't signed a contract. Both of the guys have leverage because they're sitting there. Stewart's saying, I won't sign this deal until you take this clause out. And Hendrickson's sitting there saying, I won't sign the deal until you get to my number. Spoiler, they don't have any defensive ends who can cover. Right now, their highest paid defensive end, you have Joseph Osai, who's sitting there at $6.5 million. The next guy, you have Miles Murphy, who was a pick in, I believe, last year's draft or 2 years ago's draft.
Let's bottom line it. They are not a good defensive team.
They're a terrible defensive team. Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks last year, and he's the only hope they had.
Exactly.
And now they have neither of the guys they hope to have because they're screwing themselves.
But you're out there playing a game with a guy like this. And look, he could prove me wrong and have a great career. At this hour, I don't see it. I don't see it. No. I wouldn't have drafted him, so I wouldn't be in this spot. But for whatever reason, their evaluation was,
he's worth the risk. But you know what? He's not worth the risk when it comes to the contract part of it. Like, that's where I'm holed up. Is they saw the risk of him and his conduct. If it was a real concern for them, they shouldn't have drafted him.
I know.
But they drafted him, and they shot themselves in the kneecap with Trey Hendrickson and shot themselves in the other knee with Shamar Stewart. And now they've screwed themselves because neither of those two guys have any, they don't need to sign a contract unless the clause is taken out for Stewart and Hendrickson gets closer to $40 million and he wants more guaranteed money beyond 1 year. And the rumor is that they are not offering him guaranteed beyond the first year. He's saying, well, Crosby and Garrett and Watt and everyone else signing these contracts for guaranteed for the first 2 or 3 years. I want closer to that. And he has every right to do this because they're terrible on defense. He's the only guy on defense that does anything, led the NFL in sacks, and they have no one else on the defensive end or defensive front. He is sitting there with all the leverage.
I know.
And they just it stuns me sometimes that this is what the outcome is. They made their bed, but they're not refusing to lie in it.
Well, okay. What you have here are 3 defensive ends. All right. And the part about 3 defensive ends is this. You have an owner dealing with one who has a reputation for doling out money and appears to now, for the first time, put up at least a verbal wall, right? As opposed to another group that has had a reputation in general for not paying a lot of money. Okay? And now they want to put in clauses that nobody else has. You drafted him. You did the research on him. Okay? We know he has had a couple of off the field, head scratchers. All right? You picked him. But now you want to put clauses in about it? I don't think so.
You would think that if they were going to try and do this, they could have, in a roundabout way, brought it up and mentioned it as a part of a conversation when you're discussing with his agents ahead of time. Like, we're looking at taking your guy. Would this be a problem? Like, I assume that could be brought up in some way. And you don't? It truly stuns me sometimes, Steve, that we're sitting here and things happen and we're just like, why? Why are we doing this? None of it makes sense. You're sitting here, and in terms of value, they're paying the top contract on their defense in terms of total value is $36 million to Logan Wilson. That is the highest paid guy on their defense, total number-wise. $36 million
by the way,
over 4 years.
Logan Wilson is
He's a good player. B.J. Hill's a good defensive tackle, 3 years, $33 million. But that's it. That's the top guys. The offensive side of things, you've got, $500 to $600 million tied up between purely Burrow, Chase, and Higgins, and then add an Orlando Brown in there. Like, you're sitting here with $600 plus million between those 3 and Orlando Brown. $600 million.
Yeah.
And
how old's Hendrickson? Is he 30 now?
Hendrickson is I believe turning 30 this year.
Yeah.
He is right now. He is 30. His birthday is December. He's 30 years old.
Okay. So he's younger than Aaron Judge.
Yep.
So
he led the NFL in sacks. Former Saint, great player, and they just don't want to pay him, and they don't want to give Stewart a contract without a clause.
Well, look, to the Bengals' credit, they do Bengals things.
Yes, they do.
And they outsmarted themselves. Because we're going to draft this guy, we're going to get the leverage, the whole thing. Right now they have nothing. Now, it's also late July. We are not talking about, we're not having this discussion the last week of August. And I just, the Parsons thing is somewhat baffling to a point. Okay, now, look, everybody waited on Parsons till last. Hendrickson doesn't figure into this.
No, he's going to get a lower number.
He's going to get a lower number, so he does not figure into this.
It was Garrett, Watt, Parsons, in that order.
And remember, Garrett, I want to be traded, I'm out.
Here's $40 million.
And $40 million a year later, suddenly there's bliss. Watt, I really thought that they would go into training camp, and I think I said this on the show before I left, that I thought that it would not happen until the last 2 weeks of training camp, and they'll settle the whole thing. To get it done before training camp was a huge plus, which then accelerated now what the situation is with Parsons. Cincinnati is a completely different animal. They do not figure into this conversation.
Micah relates to Pittsburgh. He relates to Cincinnati. He even relates to Vegas with Max Crosby, where his number bumped up, then Garrett, now Watt, now Parsons sitting there saying, cool, now I know what number I have to go over. That number. And that's where it stands. Hendrickson was not going to clear that bar. Now,
is he the best defensive player they have? Sure. So you have to, what value do they have? If it's in the 20s, then they're way out of the ballpark.
He's probably going to have to get to 30. I would guess 34, 35 would be the number I would assume he'd ask. I'm assuming he would want like 3 years, 100. I'm assuming that's kind of the number you're looking at. 3 years, 100, 77 guaranteed, something like that. I don't know. I'm just ballparking numbers here. But that's the projection he would ask for.
Yeah.
Unless he's crazy and is like, I want 3 years, 130. But that's the number they'd have to get to. And then they're fighting themselves, and they have less leverage because of the Stewart stuff.
Right.
And the Cowboys are sitting here, as you said, in a different case scenario, where it's literally just, he wants an extension, and he's incredible. And he's young. And they just don't want to pay him for some reason.
But you're also talking about an organization that has doled out money like water at a 10K.
Yep.
Here you go, here you go, here you go. I mean, who do they tell no to? Who over the years of the Cowboys said no to?
The highest valued contracts in the Cowboys right now in terms of average annual value for this coming season, of course, you have Dak at 60, CeeDee Lamb at 34, Osa at $20 million a year. He just signed that contract this offseason. Trevon Diggs is at just under 20. Terrence Steele, their right tackles, on 16.5. Kenneth Murray's at about 7-8. And then you've got Malik Hooker, Don Wilson. You go down the line from there. But Micah's, again, their best defensive player. Again. And he is a game wrecker.
Oh, for goodness sakes, he's their best football player.
He is their best football player. He is a game wrecker.
It's not just he's their best defensive player. He's their best football player.
If you were given an option of who to start your defense around, he's probably option 1 or 2.
Yeah.
In that discussion, like, I don't know who else you'd put above him in that place. Like, he is one of the guys you were like, I want him. There are every single other NFL team would take him in a heartbeat.
Right.
They would all want him. They'd all pay him. Why is Micah Parsons now your sticking point? Why is he the guy you're like, you know what? No, he's 25.
Let's find out over the next 2 weeks how much of a sticking point it actually is. I mean, I think that's something that, we need to, like, this is not the initial stages of a contract. For goodness sakes, they had to have been talking to him. They know he's going to the last year of his rookie deal. All right. Now the bar's been set. In 2 weeks, maybe they work it out in such a way where he gets his money. I think part of this is going to be how much of whatever contract that I think he will sign is guaranteed.
Yes.
And the guaranteed money is going to be the critical part of this. Because the Cowboys do have, there's a cap, but there's ways of getting around the cap, including bonus money.
Yeah, the bonuses, you convert that every year. The Saints have done that for decades.
Let's give you one element that the Cowboys have that other teams in the NFL do not have, and that's merchandise. Because the other 31 teams in the league are locked into the NFL's Nike merchandise deal. The Cowboys are not. I don't think people realize they're the one team that is not. So they're getting all of that money, plus the money they get from tours of the stadium and things like that, and the inside access, and let's go.
And AT&T Stadium has...
And the Star.
They hold everything there. And they have every concert, they have every show, everything.
And he owns the place.
Yeah. And by the way, on the guaranteed number, my assumption is Micah's looking at $110 million. TJ Watt got 108. That's the most for a defensive player at guaranteed. I'm assuming his number is at bare minimum 110. Right. That means about $500,000 to $1 million extra a year.
And remember, Micah is a younger player.
He's 25.
Okay,
he's young.
I mean, because he was at Penn State going into his third year, and then came out. This is off the rookie contract. T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett were 30. Not coming off rookie contracts.
No, they're off their second contract.
Okay, they're coming off their second contract with the life-changing third contract. All right, Mike is looking for a second contract, younger, more time in front of him, and that makes this a different type of deal compared to the two guys that are in front of him.
In terms of contracts, by the way, the Arizona Cardinals and second-round pick Will Johnson agreed on a contract for a 4-year deal. There are now 255 of 257 draft picks that have signed contracts. The last two, we've mentioned Shamar Stewart. We have not mentioned Quinshon Judkins. That is a different discussion for a day when it comes to legal matters.
Yes.
So those are the only two draft picks to not sign contracts as of right now. One, of course, being Shamar Stewart. Doesn't make sense why they haven't signed it. We do know, we've discussed that why. It's the last 20 minutes of the show.
Right.
So that is happening. By the way, just announced by the NBA. The NBA will play a game between the Raptors and the Nuggets at Rogers Arena in Vancouver on Monday, October 6th. So NBA is trying to get the other side of Canada, going with the Raptors. Makes sense. The Nuggets bringing Jokic up makes sense. I guess the only other option I would think would be bringing up the Thunder because you'd get Shea, who is Canadian.
I wouldn't bring the Memphis Grizzlies up.
Why? For who?
Oh, to play in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Where do you think the Memphis Grizzlies started?
Right.
They were the Vancouver Grizzlies.
Well, if Dylan Brooks was still there, that'd make sense.
My old friend Brian Hill was their head coach.
Yeah.
But I think Big Country Reeves was their
Big Country.
Yeah, was their early.
Their guy.
Yeah, early guy.
Some of the best uniforms, by the way. Those Vancouver Grizzly uniforms, incredible.
So I would not bring up them. I'll never forget talking with the Spikes. Had a player named Rowan Wick, who made the major leagues, and has had a long career in the major leagues as a reliever with the Cardinals, the Cubs, and so forth. Well, when he was here, he wasn't a pitcher; he was a right fielder, and he had 15 home runs in like 3.5, 4 weeks. It was he's the only player the Spikes have ever had where people came out to see like him,
the player,
right? Well, his dad he was from Vancouver. So his dad comes into town. Yeah, I get a chance to talk to the dad. I said, yeah, that's great. He says, and we're just in general conversation back and forth about, who do you follow on a regular basis? He goes, my favorite team is the Seattle Mariners. He says, it really stinks. I said, what's that? He says, on TV, the only team we can get because we live in British Columbia is the Toronto Blue Jays. He says, I hate the Toronto Blue Jays. right? So you're talking about the Toronto Raptors going there?
Yeah.
Something tells me in British Columbia there's a lot of Toronto Raptors basketball on TV.
Yes. By the way, speaking of baseball, the Blue Jays are currently sitting at 59-41 in the MLB. Who is the current best team by record in Major League Baseball, Steve?
Well, it was Detroit.
Right?
And
they're back by half a game.
They lost like 7 of their last 8 games.
Yep. They're 3-7 in the last 10. But who is the best team in baseball, Steve?
The Blue Jays.
Blue Jays the third, 59-41. Who is the best team in baseball, Steve? None other than the Milwaukee Brewers, 60-40. They have won 11 straight games. They are cooking.
Well, I knew it wasn't the Dodgers because the Dodgers have not been cooking.
Yes, but the Brewers are cooking. They beat Seattle 66-0 yesterday, 60-0, and they are playing lights out baseball. Their team is incredible. Of course, they have the young kid Mizorowski, who, when he pitches, he's real good. He's good at baseball, Steve. He's good at that baseball.
Right. And right now he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Right now he is. I mean, that's like, okay, let's take a guy like Paul Skeens who won last night. What's his ERA now? 1.91, something like that. I know he's last night was his 5th or 6th
1.91, yeah.
Okay. Well, Skeens last year pitched. Everybody after a year has a book on Paul Skeens. Yet he comes back this year and pitches, and guess what? He's still great. Tarek Skubal. There's a book on Tarek Skubal. It's rather lengthy. Yet he's great every single time out.
2.19 ERA. Okay.
I'm always hesitant to whoa on a guy because, look, let him go through the league a couple times. Let him go around. People get a book on you. One of the keys to longevity in any sport is the ability to adjust because people figure out your game. You might be able to get by on pure talent for a period of time, But at some point, the talent and the brain have to match up, and they catch on to what you do. Sometimes it takes longer because you are that talented. But to have absolute longevity, you have to have the ability to adjust.
That's why we look at
pitcher, hitter, hockey player, basketball player, football player. You have to, soccer player. You have to be able to adjust because, especially in this analytics world we have now, they have charts on everything. Charts on everything. You know, how is he in pass protection when he has to go to his right? How is he on pass protection when he has to go to his left? How is he on the ability to run the break to the right side? How is he when he runs the break on the left side? Okay, baseball hit charts. What's your spray chart look like? Bang, 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 bang. Right? And how do you pitch the guy? Same thing with you as a pitcher. You know, what are the locations you have? He's had, 5 starts?
Believe he has had.
He probably has a 6th start by now.
5 starts, 4 wins, 1 loss, 25.2 innings. He's given up 12 hits, 8 earned runs, 11 walks, 33 strikeouts.
I mean, he's pitched 25 innings. Okay. Greg Maddux pitched thousands. Okay, so it's like I'm not ready to anoint somebody. Right? I'm willing to ride this thing week by week. Okay, he's still really great, still really great, still really great, and then see what happens. And then how does he handle adversity? How does there'll be a point like it is with every pitcher where he's going to get shelled.
Everyone has it happen.
Right? And not does he think, or does he okay, that happens, right? Just like any hitter. I remember one time, great player, Hall of Fame player, shortstop Luis Aparicio, played for the Orioles, was tremendous. Played for the White Sox, was tremendous. The Red Sox acquired him. And I was at Fenway Park for a doubleheader with the Royals. It was on Memorial Day. And he'd gone 0 for 42.
Oof.
Right? And he hit one. I remember he hit one down the left field line. And I think for whatever reason, Amos Otis was playing in left field, not in center field. And he made this great catch. Right? And everyone's like, oh, because everybody was aching for him to get a hit. But this is a Hall of Fame player. He went through an 0 for 42. Okay? That happens. That happens. For Judge, it happens in October. All right, so, it's like...
By the way, we're sitting here...
Greatest Yankee of all time.
By the way, real fast, change subject. The NL Central went from being one of the worst divisions in baseball for years to being... Now we're sitting here at the Brewers are 60-40, and the Cubs are 59-41.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the best teams in baseball are sitting here in the same division.
Right.
And then you've got the Cardinals 52-49, and then the Reds and the Pirates. Reds are also 52-49, and the Pirates.
Can I say something about the Reds for a moment and Ellie De La Cruz?
Go for it.
Who's a terrific player. That's what O'Neal Cruz should be. That's who he should be. Right? For all the StatCast world, which means so little to me. I will say this: there are some interesting facts.
Yeah.
But okay. So he hits a home run in the home run derby that goes 513 feet,
something like that.
He makes the throw from right field that goes 115 miles an hour.
Sure.
Okay. Phenomenal. Except he's a 202 hitter.
Yeah, and Ellie's sitting here.
Who leads the league in strikeouts. And he's 27 now. This is not a kid. Okay? He's not a kid. He is a great athlete with obviously incredible baseball tools that so many people would ache to have, but he's not a good baseball player.
And when it comes to strikeouts, by the way.
Ellie De La Cruz, to his credit, has become a very good baseball player to go with his natural gifts.
And people would bring up the numbers. Okay, well, let's look at the stats of them. Ellie has, of course, he's played 101 games. He's batting .279. His OPS is .843. Good numbers. Leads the team with home runs with 18. Has 65 RBIs. And has 26 stolen bases. Yes, is 104 strikeouts.
Yes.
But then you go look at O'Neal Cruz, who's played 89 games, 10 games less. He has, in terms of home runs, he has 16, 39 RBIs, and 122 strikeouts at 30 stolen bases, batting .211 with a 724 OPS. He just is doing everything worse than Ellie is. He's not hitting as well. Ellie's getting contact on the ball, not just going for home runs.
Now the RBIs are in two parts for Cruz. One is you're hitting .211.
Yes.
Okay. Two is the Pirates don't get a lot of guys on base. And last night it was interesting. Skeens was the winning pitcher last night, who was thoroughly brilliant in his 3 innings, his 6 innings, I should say. And the Pirates scored their 3 runs in the second inning. It was good enough. And they beat Detroit. I mean, they beat a heck of a team.
Yeah.
And Sanchez pitched the 8th inning, and Bednar pitched the 9th inning. 1 month from today, neither one of them will be with the team.
We have 9 days till the trade deadline. 9 days.
Neither one of those 2 guys are going to be with the team.
Probably not. And
But again, the StatCast stuff is adorable. It's in other words, when I'm announcing a Spikes game, and I get somebody gets a home run, I've got the distance, I've got the exit velocity, and I mention both of them because I just think they're fun stats to add on. Do I think they're important? Not particularly. Okay, like, boy, that was a scorching ground ball to short. He hit it 105 miles an hour. It was an out.
Yeah. And
okay, I know he hit it hard.
Yeah.
I got it, but it's an out.
Speaking of players, yeah.
Okay, let's the All-Star game.
Yeah.
The All-Star game.
Go for it.
Okay. Schoolball's on the mound. How hard was the ball that Ohtani hit? He barely blooped it over shortstop. Right? Was it who hit second? Was it Gleyber Torres?
I think so.
Right? He broke his bat. Right? And the ball rolled to second. They couldn't make a play. Okay? Then finally they got a double down the line. What was the exit velocity on those? What was the okay? What was the distance each one of them went? Yet both those guys scored. It was a 2-0 lead for the National League on 2 balls that, like in the StatCast era, I don't want to talk about that. No, they were hits. One was an infield hit, and the other one just barely cleared. Like the game-winning hit in the 2001 World Series by Luis Gonzalez. To the credit of Tim McCarver, who I always thought was a great analyst, the Yankees brought the infield up. And McCarver said, he says, I think that's a mistake. He says, it's not post-mortem. Beforehand. Is because with the cutter he throws, a guy like Gonzalez can bloop it over second. The game-winning hit in the 2001 World Series, okay, in the StatCast era, is a horrible hit.
But it's a hit.
There are all sorts of ways to win, right? And I say this all the time, okay? Analytics is one of them. But O'Neal Cruz is a darling because of the throw he can make from shortstop, because of the throw he can make from the outfield, because of how far, when he makes contact, how far he can hit the ball.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and also the exit velocity. I remember it was a year ago. He hit a line drive
like
home run over, and it barely cleared the wall, like by about a foot, only because it was on a line. It had nothing to do with
it. Just
right,
yeah.
But the ball left it like 122 or something like that, and they're going on and on. Okay, right, and of course they lost the game. Well, it's okay, it's like it's nice,
yeah,
right? It's like the old Bob Uecker line. I actually hit a grand slam once. It was a big hit. Made the final 13-2. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of players who may not be with their teams soon, basically the entire Diamondbacks are on the trade market. The rumor, Eugenio Suarez is the guy who's number 1 on the market right now. He has 36 home runs.
The key for Arizona. We're in that area right now. Where are they at the end of this week? Because you are in a gray area in today's baseball with the expanded playoff and the fact that you now have 3 wild card teams. You have to have general managers that now have to make determinations. Are we really in it, or are we just spinning our wheels and hanging around in it? Arizona has to make that decision. Are we really in it? And in their division, it's difficult with San Diego, the Giants, and the Dodgers.
They're sitting 5.5 back right now of a wild card slot. They are behind the Reds, Giants, Cardinals, Padres, Mets, and Cubs. So you're sitting here. The Cubs are going to get us. Like, one of the Cubs or Brewers is going to get the spot because they're both 2 of the best teams of baseball.
Right.
And then you have the Mets sitting here because the Phillies are, again, one of the best teams of baseball. So the Mets are right behind them. So those 2 slots are gone. So whoever of those 4 teams slides out. And then it's the Padres who are in their division. They are sitting here right now. The Diamondbacks 5-5.
And Suarez, by the way, homered again last night.
He's 36 home runs. He has 86 RBIs, leads the major league. When it comes to the Diamondbacks, they take on the Astros tonight for their next game. And then they have, again, Houston. And then the rest of the week, they then get Pittsburgh and Detroit.
Okay,
so that's a swing and a miss right there in terms of Pittsburgh, Detroit.
So Arizona's a game under 500. So they're 50 and 51.
They're 5.5 back right now of a wild.
So they're
card
5.5 back. So really, you can eliminate Miami, Atlanta, Washington, Pittsburgh, Colorado.
Yes.
They're all out.
They're all too far back.
Okay. Arizona's the cutoff line. And remember, Detroit a year ago at this time was not the Tiger team we think of today. Then they got into the playoffs. They made it. Like, oh. And they've followed up. White Sox, A's, Orioles, they're out of it. The Twins and Kansas City
are on the cutoff.
And the Angels and Cleveland are all like in that gray area.
They're under 500.
They're talking about Minnesota selling guys. Okay? They're all under 500. Even Texas is on the borderline. They're 2.5 back, but they're only a game over 500. They're 2.5 back. Now, if they were, it would help their cause if they're, be a little bit better road team. But still, it's the Yankees, Seattle, Red Sox. Okay. All right. Those are the 3. Tampa Bay is a game and a half back. After that, you've got in that Texas. Okay. The end of this month is going to determine what they do.
It's going to be a long 10 days, Steve.
Cleveland, they're not playing well, and I think Cleveland's a seller.
Cleveland's won 8 of the last 10.
Yeah, but I think they're a seller. They won 8 of the last 10 to get to 1 game under 500.
The Angels 5-5 the last
Royals,
10.
The problem with the Royals is they don't have enough offense.
Yeah, it's Bobby Witt Jr. and that's it.
Right, they don't have enough offense. The Twins,
sellers, most likely.
They're sellers. The Orioles already have started to sell.
Yep.
So for some odd reason, Colorado's a seller.
And who thought Pittsburgh's a seller?
But you've got to give Colorado credit. They are just as good at home as they are on the road. They have 12 home wins.
38
They
losses.
have 12 road wins.
38 losses on
You've
either
got
side.
to give them credit. They have the same record home and away, so it doesn't really matter. Altitude means nothing.
You know who else has the same record home and away, Steve? The Washington Nationals, 20 and 30 on both.
And
sometimes numbers are fun.
And they have a new general manager.
And they have the first overall draft pick. Is it Eli Willits? Is he the guy they took?
Yes, but they have a new general manager who now will come in with fresh eyes and look around and say, I don't know.
You gone, you gone, you gone, you gone, you gone. I want you, and so on and so forth.
Right.
So we'll see what happens to the Diamondbacks. They, in terms of the next few matchups, they have, as we mentioned, Houston.
Let's get to the bottom line.
Yeah.
What's everybody really looking for? Most people are looking for bullpen arms.
It's bullpen arms and third or fourth starters.
That's why did I bring up Sanchez and Bednar?
Bullpen arms.
Bullpen arms.
Mason Miller, Athletics, bullpen arm.
Bullpen arm.
That's who people need. They need bullpen arms. They need a hitter here or there.
Now let's get to the adorable part. Okay. I always, and this is where over the years with Pirate fans who are just about as loyal a fan base. I love Pirate fans. They're loyal and deserve so much better than they get.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, as a fan base,
Mm-hmm.
They keep showing up. They keep watching the games. I mean, they love their team, right? But they're giving nothing to root for.
Mm-mm.
But every time they make a trade, they go, well, look at the prospects we got. And I always tell them over and over again, there's a good chance you got nothing.
Mm-hmm. Got a whole bunch of nothing, Steve.
No, I'm saying, though, but you look at over the years, who has produced for them on the, quote, prospects they've received? The one time the Pirates took a leap was when they got Archer from
Chris Archer.
From Tampa Bay, and they gave up Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow. Right? And I remember talking with Frank Coonley, who was then the president of the team. Frank's a friend, you know. And I was at a Pirate game, and I was up in one of the luxury boxes, and Frank found out I was there, so he came over to the box, and the two of us were just sitting there chit-chatting for a while. He looked at me, he says, we have a plan as to how we want to do this. He said, and that's the one time we deviated from the plan. He said, we got burned. He said, it hurt us long term, because Glasnow is a good pitcher.
Yeah.
Now, Meadows, I know,
good.
I know Austin's had some off the field, you know, is it depression issues? But he performed well with Tampa Bay. He was fine with Detroit for a while, but but everybody knew he was a player.
Yeah,
and they made that move. I was like, okay. And that's the one time you felt like the Pirates gave up. You know, like they took the swing and it didn't work. And look, that happens. That does happen. I mean, you know, Jeff Bagwell for Larry Anderson, that happens. That's one time you gave up a prospect, and that's who you ended up, you know, because you were looking for a left-handed reliever. But they're very rare times where you give up the prospect, John Smoltz, for I think it was Doyle Alexander, right? Jeff Bagwell for Larry Anderson, you know, for two teams that were in pennant races at the time, right? Detroit and the Red Sox. Those deals are rare. Okay? And I'm not, look, they're going nowhere with Sanchez and Bednar. I got it. Okay? They are going nowhere. So let's see what else we can do and get. Can you get 3 prospects for each guy and get 6, and everybody gets all excited about guys they know literally nothing about? And say, let's go down. What do you want? Hey, they just made the big trade. Let's go to Altoona and watch the guys. Okay. All right. I mean, that's why the Pirates keep spinning their wheels, because when they do get somebody, they're not good enough to maintain the guy. You know, to keep the guy on the roster, because they're not going anywhere with it. And that to me is, I don't know. That to me is.
Well, we have a lot to discuss tomorrow in the coming weeks when it comes to the MLB, when it comes to other professional sports, of course, training camps, on the fates of Micah Parsons, Trey Hendrickson, maybe Shamar Stewart. There's a lot that we'll hopefully learn about in the near future.
Well, the training camp thing, like, let's go back to Pittsburgh for a second. This is always, for Pirates baseball, the death knell, right? We've got to be good by July 21 or 22 or 23, whatever, to keep people interested. They're under 400. Okay? The Steelers are starting training camp. And as much as people may not be enamored with the Aaron Rodgers potential circus, it's still the Steelers. And that's bad for the Pirates.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to Sports Talk with Steve Jones, a 7 Mountain Media production. Come back at 11 every weekday for analysis of the latest happening in the sports landscape. From college football to European soccer, Steve and Kyle cover it all on Sports Talk with